The voice of humans. We all play this instrument. Probably the strongest sound in the planet. Only it has the power to declare war or declare love. Nevertheless, a lot of people have encountered the situation when they are not given any attention when they talk. Why is that? How can we use our voices to influence the world? I would like to propose that we need to break a lot of bad behaviors. I have gathered here 7 deadly sins of speech for your enjoyment. I am not claiming that this is a complete list, but these 7 seem like a good number. We can all get into certain habits. First, rumors. Disparaging someone who is not there. We are well aware that the person gossiping 5 minutes later will be gossiping about us, therefore it is not a pleasant habit. Judging comes in second. People like this are common in discussion, and it is really difficult to listen to someone when you know they are criticizing and evaluating you at the same time. Negativity comes in third. This is something you could fall into. It is difficult to listen to my mother's extreme pessimism in her latter years. I recall telling her once that it was October 1st today, and she responded, "I know, is not it terrible?" When someone is extremely negative, it is difficult to listen. Complaining is yet another manifestation of negativity. This is, in fact, the UK's national art. Our national sport is this one. We whine about everything, including politics, sports, and the weather, but in reality, whining is just a form of widespread sorrow. It is not bringing light and sunshine into the earth. Excuses. We have all encountered him. We have all been this guy, perhaps. Some people have a tendency to place blame. They refuse to accept accountability for their acts and just transfer the blame on others. And once more, it is difficult to listen to someone acting that way. The 6th of the 7, penultimate, exaggerated, and embroidery. Actually, there are instances when it denigrates our language. For instance, what do I label something that truly is amazing? Naturally, this exaggeration turns into outright lying, and we do not want to listen to people who are deceiving us. Dogmatism comes last. The mix-up of opinions and facts. You are listening to the wind when you confuse the two concepts. Someone is always expressing their thoughts to you as though they were factual. That is not easy to listen to. The 7 deadly sins of speech are thus presented. I believe we should stay away from these things. However, is there a constructive way to look at this? Indeed, there is. If we want our speech to be effective and influence the world, I would want to propose that we stand on 4 very strong pillars, or foundations. These things, fortunately, spell words. Hail is the term, and it has a very good definition. I am not referring to the objects that land on your head after falling from the sky. I am referring to this term, which is to greet or acclaim heartily. I believe that if we stand on these 4 principles, our remarks will be received in this manner. What do they represent, then? Attempt to guess. The H stands for honesty, which naturally means being truthful and straightforward in your statements. Authenticity, or simply being who you are, is the A. Standing in your own truth is a beautiful way to express it, according to a friend of mine. The I stands for honesty, keeping your word, carrying out your promises, and being a reliable person. Love is the L. I mean wishing people well, but not romantic love. For 2 reasons. First of all, I do not think we want complete honesty. You look so terrible this morning, my goodness. Maybe that is not required. Tempered with love, of course, honesty is a fantastic thing. However, it is also exceedingly difficult to condemn someone while genuinely wishing them success. You might not even be able to perform those 2 things at the same time, in my opinion. Alright, hail. Additionally, it is what you say now, and it is similar to the old song in that it is both what you say and how you say it. Your toolkit is incredible. Even though this instrument is amazing, very few individuals have ever opened this toolbox. In order to boost the impact of your speech, I would want to go into your closet with you and extract a few tools that you may use and experiment with. For instance, register. There is a register in between, even though the falsetto register is not often particularly helpful. For those of you who are voice coaches, I will not get too technical about this. But you know where your voice is. You can therefore hear the difference if I speak up here in my nose. It is in my throat, where most of us speak most of the time, if I go down here. However, you must go down here to the chest if you desire weight. Do you hear the difference? Politicians with a lower voice are the ones we elect. It is accurate. Because we identify depth with authority and power. That is register. We also have timbre. It is the emotion in your voice. Once more, the study demonstrates that humans favor voices that are warm, smooth, and rich like hot chocolate. It is not the end of the world, though, if it is not you. Since you are able to train. Obtain a vocal coach now. Additionally, there are incredible things you can do to enhance the timbre of your voice through exercises, posture, and breathing. Next, prosody. I adore prosody. This is the catchphrase, the meta-language we employ to convey meaning. It is the first path to conversational meaning. If a person has no prosody at all, it can be quite difficult to listen to them talk in a single note. This is the origin of the word monotonic, or monotonous, monotone. Additionally, we now have repeating prosody, in which each sentence concludes with a question. In reality, it is a statement rather than a question. Furthermore, it actually limits your potential to communicate through prosody if you keep saying that, which is unfortunate in my opinion. Let us attempt to break that habit. Keep your pace. I can either slow down to emphasis or get really, extremely excited and express something really, incredibly fast. Naturally, quiet, our old friend, comes at the conclusion of that. A little pause during a conversation is perfectly acceptable, is not it? It does not need to be filled with ahs and ums. It has the potential to be quite strong. Pitch and tempo are frequently used together to convey excitement, however pitch alone can also be used. You left my keys where? You left my keys where? In those two presentations, the connotation is a little different. And lastly, loudness. I can use volume to become incredibly enthusiastic. I apologize if I surprised anyone with that. Or I could get incredibly quiet to grab your attention. There are those who broadcast continuously. Avoid doing that. We call that sodcasting. Heedlessly and irresponsibly forcing your sound on those around you. Not pleasant. Of course, when you have a truly essential task to complete, that is when all of this comes into play. It may be presenting a speech to an audience while standing on a stage like this. It could be making a marriage proposal, requesting a raise, giving a wedding speech, or anything else. You should examine this toolbox and the engine it will be working on if it is truly important. And without being warmed up, no engine performs well. Warm up your voice. Let me actually demonstrate how to accomplish that. Do you all want to take a moment to stand up? I will walk you through the 6 vocal warm-up exercises I perform before every speech. Do them whenever you are speaking with someone of importance. Arms up first. Take a deep breath. And let out a sigh. Again. Excellent. We will now warm up our lips. We are planning to go, 2. Excellent. And now. Just like you were as a child. Your lips need to be moving now. Next, we will perform the tongue with exaggerated. Lovely. You are becoming rather proficient at this. Next, roll an R. For the tongue, that is equivalent to champagne. Finally, and if I can only perform one, the pros call this the siren. It is excellent. We comes first, followed by or. The or is low, and the we is high. Okay, great. Take a moment to applaud yourselves. Sit down. Thank you. Do those beforehand the next time you talk? To wrap up, let me simply provide some background. This is a really important aspect. Here we are at this moment. In a setting where noise and poor acoustics are the norm, we talk poorly to those who are not paying attention. On this stage, I have discussed that in many stages. What would happen if we were able to communicate effectively with people who were actively listening in settings that were truly appropriate for their intended use? Or, to put it a little more broadly, what would happen if we were intentionally producing, intentionally consuming, and intentionally constructing every aspect of our surroundings for sound? It certainly sounds like a lovely world where people would understand one another. And it is a good concept to spread. Thank you. Thank you.